Autoimmune Revival. I am Naomi Suzanne from Naomi's Home Health, and I'm a holistic health coach who specialises in thyroid and autoimmune healing. This content is where I share my journey of hypothyroidism and Hashimoto's to fully healed through natural health solutions. If you missed the last episode, I spoke about how I started to venture into the natural health options and, using naturopaths, iridologists, acupuncturists, all that really didn't help me very much. It was just a lot of supplements and different sort of diets. And then I had a nice health coach, Brad Dwyer. He was amazing. He got me, on the right track as well. But then he sent me to a different health coach who is meant to be a thyroid expert, and she actually made me much worse. I went downhill. I got sicker, and she actually dumped me and left me to deal with this by myself. So this episode is more about where I started to really find my feet in healing. And one of the things I wanted to share with you was about when I stepped into a women's circle. Now, my really good friend, Lana Jackson, she is a psychic medium, astrologer, businesswoman, and a really good friend of mine. She's just a gun at everything. And she had contacted me and said that she was part of this women's circle, and it's on Zoom. There's women from all over the world, Australia, America, New Zealand. And she said that she was finding that, she was doing a lot of growth and healing in this space. And she said, do you want to sit in as a guest? And I was like, what? No, I am very much in my masculine energy, and a women's circle for me was just like, no. So anyway, I thought about it, and I trust Lana, and, she steers me in the right direction quite often. So I thought, you know what, it's not going to hurt to be a guest. So I sat in on this women's circle as a guest, and each week what they do is they answer a question. Like, the host poses this question, and it's all about growth and healing, like spiritual. It could be about chakra healing. It could be about shadow work, anything like that's going to help you grow emotionally, internally, looking within yourself. So I answered the question, and I didn't know any of these women, and they just sat and held space for me without judgment, without anything, without saying anything. And it was like something I had never experienced before. And these were women I didn't even know. So I thought about it, and I was like, you know what, Lan, I'm coming in. That was something really different. And I'm on a healing journey. So I put my hand up and I said, I'm coming in. So there was 8 women, and it grew to, 16 women or whatever it was over time. And it was just this space of personal growth for me. Every week, answering a different question. We would have a connection call with a different woman in the group, and we would talk about the questions, and we would open up a lot and get really personal. And these women just, I can't even explain how much I needed this at this time, for these women to hold space for me and help me stop rejecting my feminine energy. I really rejected it. I was so much in my masculine energy, very assertive. I rejected emotional expression, independent, very logical. I was all of those things, and, all about sports and male-dominated areas of life. And for me to start to find this balance and to allow the feminine energy to come into my life really calmed me and brought me down in energetically by my vibration. It raised my vibration, and I just had this group of women who I felt I could really talk about things that had happened to me in the past or things that were happening in the present. Talked about my health. They were not there to heal me. They were there to just listen. And if I wanted advice, they would give it to me. If I didn't, they wouldn't. It was just this amazing space. And I was in for a long time, 2 years or something. And the amount I learned about chakra healing and my body and my energetic being, and it was crazy. And I'd never thought I would do that, because when I first started with doTERRA, it's a very feminine, energetic company, and it attracts very spiritual women. And I really loved all these women, but I didn't understand their language a lot of the time, what they were speaking about. And it made me uncomfortable, to be honest, some of the time. So being in Circle really helped me to step into that and to embrace all of this. And it helped my business a lot. So in the meantime, while I'm doing Circle, I'm still unwell. And I find this book, Medical Medium by Anthony William. And I read this book and I was like, oh my gosh, he's talking about me. It was all about how the Epstein-Barr virus causes hypothyroidism, autoimmune disease, and how to heal it, basically. So I started doing all his protocols. I still had the heart palpitations. I still had low energy. I was feeling a lot better than what I had a couple of years prior, but I still needed something. So I started doing his protocols, drinking celery juice, lemon water. I stopped eating a lot of meat. I virtually didn't eat any meat. I was virtually vegan, gluten-free, a lot of cleansing, and I already was doing the non-toxic thing. So he spoke a lot about the physical healing and healing the liver. The liver is the core problem when we have a thyroid or autoimmune disease, because what happens is your liver becomes overburdened from all the toxicity over a lifetime. The Epstein-Barr virus stays in your liver until you drive it out, basically. So if you're feeding it with gluten, egg, dairy, this is how it stays in your body and causes so much stress on your body. And this is where you get the autoimmune disease, thyroid issues. It starts to, spread throughout the body and cause a lot of issues. So I, took the herbs and did all those things. And I started to feel a lot better. I still had the heart palpitations. He speaks about mystery heart palpitations in his book. And what it is because your liver is overburdened and it starts to hold on to toxicity and the virus and bacteria and any sort of pathogens. And as you continue to put pharmaceuticals or whatever it is into your body, it just keeps getting overburdened and it just doesn't work properly. So it starts to affect all the other organs in your body. So when you start to drink something or you start to exercise and adrenaline starts to go through your body, because your liver has to detox everything, right? Including your hormones, your adrenaline, all of those things. So once anything goes on your skin, into your mouth, or you inhale it, it's got to go through the liver. And it's going through a dirty liver. It's going through a liver that is full of toxicity. And as that blood comes out of your liver and up to your heart, it's thickened. It's got like a biofilm, and your heart struggles to pump that blood. It's not oxygenated enough. It's too thick. And this is where you get high blood pressure and all these other issues. But this heart palpitation, it pounds hard because your heart is working so hard to get this through the liver and up to the heart and get it back around your body, basically. So this is where the mystery heart palpitations come from. So in this time of doing medical medium, and I immersed myself in every bit of knowledge he had, and I did everything he said, and I was feeling better. In this time, I'm doing a lot of emotional work, because medical medium doesn't talk about that, about how stress, trauma, all of that affects your adrenals, and you get this surge of adrenaline constantly in your body, which is your fight or flight response, your survival mode. So if you've been in that survival mode for half of your life, it's extremely difficult to get out of. So you have this constant surge of adrenaline going through your body, and it has this, and cortisol, and you have this high constantly. Then you get a low as well at the wrong time of day. 3 o'clock in the afternoon is usually when we get our low, and that's because, your cortisol and adrenaline's dropped. So, this is why people start to drink a lot of coffee to boost their energy, and then you get another surge of adrenaline. So the Circle is what started to help me balance all of this. I'm doing the right thing physically, nutrition wise. I was actually too fanatical, to be honest. I can't eat this and I can't eat that and I can't do this. And I was so laser focused on everything that I was doing for my health that it was actually a stress in my life. And I was over the top with it because I'm a passionate, fanatical person. If I'm into something, I'm into it, relationships, sport, whatever it is that I'm into, I do it 1,000%. And so I did this 1,000%, and it was probably too much for me. I should have calmed down and just did it. If I didn't eat the right thing that one meal, I should have just thought, you know what? Well, the next meal I will. But I was so focused on doing the right thing and I had to heal tomorrow, and I was, it was actually a stress. So this is why I talk a lot about when we're doing healing, we don't want to overwhelm ourselves. We don't want to do everything all at once. Make one improvement at a time in your life, so then you ease yourself into it. The body doesn't want to be pushed. The liver most definitely does not want to be pushed. Anything that you want, where you do a cleanse or something where you're flushing constantly, it's not actually good for your body. Your body doesn't want all of those things happening all at once. And this is where you get adrenal surges and cortisol surges. So I was too over the top, and I was still, feeling better. And I swear by everything that medical medium says, because he did change my life, and I embrace a lot of his stuff still to this day, but I'm not so over the top about it. And I live my life how I want to live it now because I can. And what actually changed for me was when I was talking to one of my really good friends in the women's circle, Prem. She was asking me about my health, and I said, look, I just can't get to where I want to go. I want to be 100%. I want to be back to where I was or better every single day, feeling amazing, living my best life. And I'm only doing that some of the time. I was still in my marriage, and, I will say he was amazing with whatever food I cooked, whatever I put on the table. Like, I was eating vegan, he would eat that too. I would often make 2 meals though. So if I made, let's say, tacos for the kids, I would have lettuce tacos. Like, I'd have a piece of lettuce as my taco, and I would have vegetarian beans, vegetables, guacamole. But the kids and the ex-husband, I would make the meat for. He would have both because he enjoys my cooking. So I will say he was supportive in that way of whatever food I cooked and whatever I put in front of him, he would eat it. So that makes a really big difference when you've got someone who would eat the food that you're going to eat for your healing journey. That is helpful, because if you don't have to make 5 different meals, you're already tired, you're already exhausted. You don't want to be making 10 meals for everybody. So when the people in your house are supporting you through food, that's brilliant. So back to Prem, I spoke to her about this, and I said, look, I just don't have the energy, and I still have these heart palpitations. They're a little bit better, but they're still there. I still can't exercise. I just want that gone. That's what I want gone. So she said to me, look, I don't know if this will help, but I've been on this activation product for some time now, and it's helped me with my energy. It's helped me with so much stuff. Anyway, it's called NRF2 activation. Have a look at it. There's more studies on NRF2 activation, like Protandim, LifeVantage, than any other supplement on the planet. Now, this isn't actually classed as a supplement. It's classed as an activation because it does something completely different to what a supplement does. When you put a supplement in your mouth, you're putting an antioxidant into your mouth. This actually gets your body to create the antioxidants in the cells. So it's super powerful, way more powerful than any supplement on the planet. So what I did, I went away and I researched, and I went on to PubMed.gov, which is published medical studies, and I looked up this NRF2 activation, and I was like, wow, there's a lot of science behind this. I watched some videos, and I said to her, get this for me. I don't know if it's going to change my life, but I'll have a crack. So I did. So your NRF2 pathway in your body is your master detoxification pathway. And what this one little yellow pill does is it activates that detoxification pathway and gets your body to cleanse naturally. Because when we have a chronic illness or as we age, that pathway declines. So mine had declined a lot, and I thought, I'm going to try this activation. Now, what it does, it is scientifically proven to reduce your oxidative stress in your body, which is caused by chemicals, toxins, stress, free radical damage. It reduces that oxidative stress in your body by up to 40% in 30 days. Nothing else does that. No blueberries, no pomegranates. This is scientifically designed by a scientist, a Dr. McCord, his name is. I say doctor, sorry. And he spent years trying to perfect this, and he did finally. And so I started taking it. I was like, right, whatever, take it. One pill once a day, that's pretty simple. I took the NRF1 as well, which is, it boosts the mitochondria in your cells. And the mitochondria in your cells is your energy center, the engine room of your cells. It gets the cells working better again. So I took the 3 pills once a day because the NRF1 is 2 pills once a day. So I took these, and within 2 months, those heart palpitations were gone. I was like, what the hell? I've been working on this for years, and I take these 3 little pills once a day for 2 months, and bang, they're gone. The other thing I noticed, I was starting to drop a bit of the weight, that I was huge at this time and uncomfortable and low self-esteem, just everything from feeling and looking terrible. I looked terrible. I had aged so much in the last few years, and I just started to get this vitality back, and you could see it in my eyes. You could see the difference in my face. I remember I was at the beach one day with the kids, the hubby, and our good friends, family friends. They had kids. We were in the water, me and the kids. I was body surfing with the kids. The other parents, the 3 of them, got out, and they were sitting on the beach watching me, which just body surf and swim and swim and swim with these kids. I hadn't been able to do that for a couple of years. I would usually sort of dip in the water and get back out and sit on the beach because I just didn't have the energy. I felt shitty. I looked shitty. So here I am doing all this, and they're just sitting there looking at me like, what the hell is she on? And I got out, and they're like, did you have fun? I'm like, oh, well, I don't know where I'm getting all this energy. And I just felt really amazing. And they commented like, whatever you're doing, you just keep doing it. This is amazing for you. And I said, this is the only thing I'm doing different. I cannot believe that this would be the game changer for me. And I've contacted Prem, and I'm like, how do I share this with everybody else? Like, I need to help people with this. And there's a group that I'm in on Facebook where all the testimonials and success stories. And I went into this group and just looked at people with thyroid issues, blood pressure, cancer, inflammation, gut issues, all of this stuff that they were just helping recover from this one pill, or the 3. A lot of people are on 3. Some people are just on the 1, the NRF2. So I started to help people with this product, and people, like, if they stayed on it, because it doesn't always work within 2 months. Some people it takes a bit longer or whatever, but if you stayed on it, they were having some great success with it. Mind you, I was also doing other stuff. I eat healthy, and I'm doing this emotional work in the women's circle, but without that, the heart palpitations weren't going anywhere. My energy wasn't coming up, and it literally just changed my life. I even gave it to my husband. He had neck issues at the time that was causing numbness and tingling down his arm, and he couldn't feel anything. And he kept on, he went to osteos, physios, chiros. Nothing was working for him. And I said, look, just take this pill. I didn't get him to take it for that. I just said, this makes me feel amazing. You take it too. So he did. And after a couple of months, I noticed he wasn't grabbing his arm, and he wasn't doing all the things that he was doing that we noticed when he was getting pins and needles. So I said, what's going on there? You haven't been doing that for a while. And he goes, oh, I haven't had pins and needles or numbness for ages. And I thought, oh, I wonder if it's the NRF2, because that's all he was taking, just the NRF2. Anyway, he went away on a boys' trip, didn't take the pills, came back and forgot to take them for weeks. He started to get the numbness and the tingling again. And I said to him, do you think it was the NRF2? He said, I'm certain of it. He started taking it again, and he has not had that problem since. It was like a year or two that he was trying to get rid of this problem. It was affecting his life, and he's a surfer. He couldn't even do that properly. And then all of a sudden, this NRF2 comes along, and it changed everything for him. So that I wanted to share that with you because of the changes it has made in myself, in the ex-husband. I gave it to my son. I would, he was about 8 at the time. I would whiz it up in a coffee grinder and put it in juice, and he would drink it. I'd only give him half every day. And he even said, it makes my head clearer, mummy. So, I mean, you can't, when a kid's telling you that, it's pretty good. So I wanted to share this with you because I share it with my clients and they also get the same results. And if you want to learn about this, I will send you information. Message me, contact me on Facebook, Naomi Suzanne, Naomi's Home Health Facebook. Contact me and I'll give you some information if you want to get on the NRF2 pathway that I got on, and I still to this day take it. And this was like 5 years ago. So I still take that product, and I never will not take that product. And I will never stop sharing it because of what it's done for me. And people to this day cannot believe the vitality and energy that I have, considering I was virtually on my deathbed 5 or 6 years ago. So all of these things, the women's circle, medical medium, the NRF2 activation, and then I started doing, a lot more other things, Qigong, all these other things that I started doing to release trauma. I now do somatic yoga all the time, things to really help me get my emotional health back on track. And, after a while, leaving my husband also helped. But while I was still with him, those things really changed my life. And it really pays to research and find people who are going to help you. Like I spent a lot of time and money because this person helped me with this little bit here, and this person helped me with this, like medical medium. He didn't help me with the emotional side. Circle didn't help me with the physical side. I think this is why I do what I do today. And when I do a program, it's physical, mental, emotional, body, mind, soul. We go through it all. And I think that's why I've been able to do that. And I know how to help you because I've been through it all. But I had to go to 20 different people to learn that. Whereas you can come to me and get it through one person and not have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars going to all these different practitioners, dietitian, nutritionist, naturopath, whatever it is. I do it all in the one because I know other people don't. And I think that's why I get such good results with my clients. I believe so. And I believe that's why my health is so great now, because I focus on all areas of healing, physical, mental, and emotional. It's so important. We do struggle with the mental and emotional as people, we just do. But once you start, and that taking that first step is so beneficial to your life. It might be difficult at first, but once you start doing it, once you start learning that what your emotions are, what your triggers are, when they start to come to you in life later, you know how to manage it. So when I went through my divorce, I knew some of the things that helped me emotionally. I could feel the emotions. I allowed those emotions to come to me, and I allowed myself to feel them instead of shutting them down and making myself sick. So it was a great time for me to go through that divorce when I knew how to handle it. And I feel like I recovered mentally and emotionally a lot easier than I would have if I didn't do this process. So I just wanted to share all of that with you because I know some people will resonate, and I know that, um, you know, it's a very hard journey for you to go through. And if this has resonated with you at all, I would love you to share it with people. Make sure you follow this podcast, listen to the next episode, start to incorporate some of the things, because I'm going to start talking a lot more about actual healing tools and practices. I'm going to dive deeper into those for you so you can start to incorporate them in your life. But if you want to work with somebody who is going to really get you on the path to healing, that is me. You can go on to naomishomehealth.com. There's a link on Spotify to book in with me. We do a 1-hour consultation. We go through everything, physical, mental, and emotional. I will write you your very own program. Nobody gets the same program because nobody has the same health, triggers, root causes, all of those things. It is specific to you and your needs, and I support you the whole time. You can contact me. You can say, what do I do here? Or I've fallen off the wagon here. And we start to really work together to get you to where I am right now. So make sure you like and share or this podcast and listen in to the next episode 4, coming next Tuesday.